Ginger Ninja's movie reviews. I'm the Ginger Ninja, and yes, these are my movie reviews. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. If you're a returning viewer, thank you very much for your continued support. It is much appreciated, and you know what we're in for today. We are in for the finale of the Basket Case trilogy, Basket Case 3, which came out in 1991, a year after Basket Case 2 came out. Again, directed by Frank Henenlotter, and it does star, again, Kevin Van Hentenryck, Annie Ross, but it also stars Gil Roper, Jim O'Doherty, and many, many more. Now, as with the previous films, we will be discussing plot specifics and spoilers, so if you have not seen this film, you have been warned. However, if you haven't seen, you do want to see it, you can see it for free on Tubi, so do check it out. It is worth your while. So what we've got here is the third and final act of the trilogy, with Dwayne recovering from his delusional breakdown at the end of the last film to find his brother, Belial, soon to be a father. But not everything is as joyous as the once tight-knit brothers, and I mean that literally. They no longer trust each other, and that is obviously due to the incident that occurred at the end of the previous film with the brothers becoming one again. Yeah, that was a scene. But like I said, the final part in this trilogy sees the gang heading out to a long-lost uncle's farm, meeting new additions to the family, little Hal, and also the babies. Like I mentioned, Eve and Belial, they had their little, coitus scene in the previous film, disturbing as that was. But when part of this film involves the local sheriffs kidnapping the babies, of which there are a lot, and that birthing scene is something to behold. So, when the babies are kidnapped, Granny Ruth and the family strike back with force. Now, one of the things, and I will start this straight off with one thing that I didn't like. Both films, for the first few minutes, they show a recap of the last 5 or so minutes from the previous film. And look, I can see the benefit of that for a couple of points. The first, to bring new people into the film. Give them a refresh, let them know what's happened, where they're at. That's good for people who haven't seen the previous film, or if, say, going from Basket Case 1 to Basket Case 2, where there's an 8-year gap, definitely, give people a refresh. This was a year later. So, 1990 to 1991. It seems like filler to me, like they're just padding out the time, That being said, the rest of the film, like the effects again are outstanding. Like these physical effects are so well done. You do have a few new characters thrown into the mix with some really eye-popping scenes. And this is a standout when it comes to physical effects. These look amazing. They look fun. And of course, they are completely out there. The design of these is unbelievable. Like, kudos to the people that thought this up. They've done an outstanding job. The revenge part of the film, where Dwayne and Belial reconcile their differences and go after the police, is a lot of fun. It is very reminiscent of the reporter scene from Basket Case 2, and with the editor scene as well. But the difference with some of this is Belial is by himself and on a murderous rampage. And that's really cool. Like that sheriff, like the actual scene in the police station, done so well. The final showdown with the sheriff in a sort of mech warrior BattleBot suit, and the final reveal on the Springer-esque, it's the only way I can describe it, maybe Geraldo Riviera, I don't know, we didn't get him over here, but Springer-esque TV show, and the speech by Granny Ruth and the way she ends it, it ties it all together and really is quite a satisfying finale to this series. Overall, this series of films is definitely one of the most weird, zany franchises you can see. But the last two, the special effects that make it worth it. You can see that from the original film to the finale, there have been improvements from the directing and special effects, of course. Henenlotter has gotten better along the way, and whilst there is a massive gap between this one and his next film, and that's due to behind the scenes stuff, like, there's the improvements are outstanding. Like, yeah, they've come a long way in 9 years. Not from 2 to 3, but definitely from the first film to these two, huge improvements. One of the other problems I did have with this film was that it borrows too much from the previous films, like I mentioned. The police scene, the reporter and the editor from the previous film, they do seem very similar in tone, if not in action, to the police station scenes and the revenge killings of the police officers that Bilal does. It did seem to take very heavily from that. That being said, there's nothing terrible about the film overall. In fact, it's a great, fun popcorn horror film. And one part that makes it fun is actually Kevin Van Hentenryck. His character has finally lost it and is completely nuts. But he doesn't know it. And one of the things that Henenlotter actually said about this is that actually makes it better because Dwayne doesn't know he's crazy. Kevin Van Hentenryck has played the part as straight and narrow, but he's crazy, and you do see that. So I really did enjoy this one. Although I feel both sequels, they are missing that dirty griminess of the original, I still enjoyed them both, and with the outstanding special effects, the improvements in the quality of the film, the acting as well. And I mean, I know I do like the griminess of the first one, and then I say this has got great quality to it. There's a different feel to it, and that's what makes a difference between this one. So overall, I'm going to give Basket Case 3 8 out of 10 again. It matches up to the second film quite well and is a lot of fun to watch. It's, like I said, it's a fun popcorn horror film. So highly recommend, if you have not seen it, you check it out. So thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, do give this video a thumbs up, like my video, subscribe to my channel for future content. Next week we will be looking at another Henenlotter film. So come back next week and you'll see what it is. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.